4:25 p.m. Eastern. Saints 4-7, 1-3 on the road at the 49ers, 6-4, 3-1 at home. We're at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. 60 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour. Let's go to the line history here for this one. We have these Niners opening up at -8 at Pinnacle. They're now -9.5. From a total standpoint, opened up at 42, now at 44. When we go into the cash flow for this one, we have just 592 tickets in, 50-50 on the tickets, 54% of the cash on the Niners, and then 85% of the tickets, 99% of the cash on the over, but such a small sample size. Saints coming off the 27-20 home win over the Rams. Dalton, 21-25, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. Olave, 5 receptions for 102. Juwan Johnson, 3 for 47. Kamara had his first good game in a while. Ran 12 times for 42, caught 4 for 47. The defense got pressure. They dominated after Matthew Stafford left the game with a concussion. Finished with 4 sacks and 7 quarterback hits. Peyton Turner was carted off the field in the second quarter with a leg injury. So you have Cameron Jordan and Marcus Davenport. They were ruled out on Friday. And the Saints are lucky. It turns out it's just an ankle sprain, so Peyton Turner could be back there. But, they need Carl Granderson. They've got these young guys stepping up, like Caden Ellis, Carl Granderson stepping up defensively because of, Davenport and Jordan and other vets hurt right now for the Saints. 49ers coming off a short week after their third straight 38-10 win over the Cardinals in Mexico City on Monday night. Now tied with the Seahawks at the top of the NFC West. Jimmy G, 20-29, 228 yards, 4 touchdowns. Kittle, 4 receptions for 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ayuk's only 2 catches. Both were touchdowns. By the way, shout out to Nutflush Allen in the chat who had Ayuk for 2 touchdowns for a huge score. McCaffrey caught 7 for 67, ran 7 for 39. Debo caught 7 for 57, ran 3 times for 37 yards and touchdown. Elijah Mitchell ran 9 times for 59 yards. They have so many weapons. The defense shut down the Cardinals. It wasn't difficult. Held them to got 3 sacks, 8 quarterback hits. Jimmy Ward, Samuel Womack had picks, and Eric Armstead still inactive with the foot and ankle injuries. Big favorites here are the Niners. You see an angle to bet in this one?
So maybe it's a short week. It's a home game coming off the weird altitude game. Don't you kind of want to fade them coming off an altitude game on a short week, facing a team that actually could run the ball against you? And I get to all that, and then I realize, but you're betting on Andy Dalton on the road? Is that something you want to really do, even with those amount of points? I'm tempted. I've seen some people tease the Niners. Don't hate that. I think this is a Niners win, but maybe not cover. That said, I have World Cup. I have bets on the World Cup. I'd rather place than doing Andy Dalton money again. It's been an experiment, not an experiment. It's just gotten worse. People have kind of figured out what he is. I'm not sure what the Jameis injury is. It might not be an injury anymore. It might just be, hey, we're keeping Dalton in at quarterback at this point. They've got a little better offensively, but missing Lattimore and some of these defensive problems they've had, it's a bad matchup for them. So I'd love to take the points here and fade a team coming off a mountain game, short prep week. But all in all, it's still a less than experienced head coach heading on the road to take on a team that just has so many freaking weapons. Just your back, even if you didn't have Kittle and Ayuk, imagine just telling, hey, we got Christian McCaffrey and Debo in the same backfield. You could come up with a million ways to do that. And Birdie's saying Lattimore should be back. I was 50-50 on that. That makes a difference. We'll see how healthy he is. That helps, but there's still so many guys. You can't. You got to play some zone. You have to be able to play a good zone defense against this Niners team. There's just too many different ways to beat you in space with all these different weapons. And even with, the non-belief in this quarterback, I feel like there's too many pieces around him for Jimmy to fail. So, yeah, this is a good number. We'll leave it at it. We'll leave it. And again, the total just feels fairly close as well.
Not Flush Allen looking at the team total under here for the Niners, which is an interesting look, under 27.5. Interesting. Because I was thinking that the Saints should be able to put up, 15 points in this game. I mean, shouldn't they? I mean, I feel like the Saints team total over might be the spot to look at. I mean, even over 16.5 is plus money.
Yeah, that's not horrid. Because they have a lot more to offer on offense than what Arizona did. And they don't have to play at 8,000 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there.
It's a nice low total.
Or you might be on something.
All of the above. But I think that the Saints team total over. But if I like the Saints team total over, I guess I've got to sit with the idea that, look, I don't want the Niners at this spread at all.
No.
Not at all. In saying that, I still don't really trust the Saints. But I feel like 43 points should be attainable here with these two teams. At least a first half over, just in case the Niners start playing slow late. Maybe a first half over. All right. Birdie says, Mike saying Niners team total under. You are thinking Saints team total over. Covering 9.5 seems unlikely. All right. I'm going to need more time here, but I feel that the Niners on a short week feeling really good about themselves make them a little bit vulnerable. Not enough to back the Saints, but I was already interested in this over. A 43 to me sounds attainable. And then the first half right now is at 21.5. God, we can get there. Can we?
I'll bless that. I'll bless that for you.
Thank you. That's what I needed to hear. I feel like they can get there. And then, all right. Okay, that's the 425. We got 2 games left here.